I'm Maddie, and I hate living in Asia, and that's why I moved all the way across the world to live in Canada now. And here are the reasons why. So the first reason is probably very familiar to those who have been to Asia or heard of the culture there, but especially in bigger cities like Singapore, Japan as in Tokyo, or Korea as in Seoul, like Lookism is such a big thing. There's like pretty privilege, right? But then there's like extreme intensified pretty privilege, which is what it's like. And I know it may be because as a girl and as someone who's like extra conscious of my physical appearance, it might be more like obvious to me, but I'm sure that it's definitely ingrained in the culture, and people around me have also mentioned this. And growing up, like, it's just so normal to talk about everything related to looks. Like, family members will comment on, oh, like, your nose is so like round and the tip of it's like quite big. Your hair is so thin. Like, they would just say it in like a casual conversation like it's nothing. And honestly, it has always hurt me. Like, it's not fun to hear these things, and it's like, why would you tell me that? Like, I could have lived happily without knowing that. And also like comments about your weight. Like, I've just been back in Asia and I came back around 2 weeks ago, and I got a comment about my weight. My uncle was like, oh wow, you look a lot stronger now. And in Chinese it means that you're bigger. Like, sorry, not stronger, but there's like this Chinese word where it basically means buffer. Like, you look like it's basically the nicest way you can call someone fat. And growing up, going to schools there, even though I was in like a mixed international kind of environment at school, it was still very, very like obvious that people really cared about physical appearances and judged you for it. Like, I had friends who would say, oh, I am a face controller, and in Chinese that means that I judge people by their faces, and I want to make friends with people with pretty faces. And I think that the fact that it's even an official term and people use it casually and it's accepted in our society, are we not cooked? And the last thing I want to talk about on the topic of lookism is diet culture, and not just normal diet culture, like extreme diet culture. And I've used like Asian apps, like whether it's Korean apps or Chinese apps or other kind of Asian apps that I've been on, like for example like Chinese version of Instagram, which is Red Note. Maybe some of you guys would know, but some of the diets on there are insane. Like, it's what probably a toddler eats less than a day, in what a toddler eats in a day, less than that. And I'm not gonna like say specifically what like they eat or the calorie count, because I really don't want this video to be triggering or leading anyone to compare themselves to that. But it's just crazy how these things are allowed and it's normalized to talk about. Like, I feel like if you talk about something like that here, if you talk about being a face controller, you will be judged so hard and you will have no friends, because that is really messed up. Like, if that's your values, that's not good. The second thing I really hate is materialism. Like, I have friends growing up, or even now actually. I'm at university now, so like we're at an age where, you know, we could be dating to get married, we could be dating for marriage, possibly, although I am not, but we could be. Like, I have friends who will openly talk about, yeah, I'm happy in my relationship because the guy is rich, he has a house, like, he gives me everything I want, so I'm happy. Like, that being like more than 90% of her criterias is really concerning. And it's also really sad, but I couldn't even say anything because it's so normalized. And yes, my friend is Asian. Yeah, and when you go to Asia, I'm sure a lot of you guys would notice that designer clothing, bags are also so much more normalized. And isn't it crazy? Because in Asia, like, despite these brands being the same price everywhere, in Asia, people are making less than in Western countries, but they're still buying so much more designer stuff. Like, they would use a large percentage of their paychecks to afford it, because to them, luxury items are not just something that's, you know, oh, I really like it, I'm gonna get it. It's a symbol of hierarchy. It's a social hierarchy symbol of status. And I just really don't like how, like, sometimes people even tell me that, oh, at work, like, it's required to wear designer shoes. Like, a hairstylist told me that. If I was working as a hairstylist, like, I feel like a month's salary wouldn't even cover like a Balenciaga pair of sneakers. Like, that's just so sad. And I don't want to be in a culture like that. And that's why I hate living in Asia. Sorry, again, it's just me. I'm just talking about my experience here. You don't need to take this as advice.